desktop. That was you needed a computer in the school in Chibok, the government school in Chibok, 2 desktop. And at that moment he said to me, and he was like, oh please, could we ask Mr. Peter Obi and His Excellency that if he could please donate 2 computers, it's something that is needed. So I said, immediately I got the message, what I did was to now forward on that 31st of May. I forwarded the message to Mr. Peter Obi himself. After I forwarded the message, we had a meeting, I think that was on the 1st or 2nd. So I know, of course, he wouldn't see the message because a lot of messages do come in. And so on the 1st, when we had that meeting, I sat with him, I'm like, oh, I sent you something that had to do with a particular school where they needed a computer. And within 12 hours, in 12 hours, I was like, oh, they were looking for, so he saw the message, we read it together, like they were looking for 2 things. And in 12 hours, we were like, oh, immediately I said to him, he said, oh yes, let's do this. And within 12 hours, I remember sending him a message, so fast, because even it shocked me. You know, when you are shocked, I was like, oh, so fast. But we are here today. We are here today because there's a cry out for children. And one of the things that we know Mr. Peter Obi is very good at is education, when it comes to education, and ensuring that our children, nobody is left behind. And in a situation where we have a nation where we say we are battling insecurity and all of that, we really need to do a whole lot about education. If you have a huge population that is not educated, then it becomes a burden on its own. At this moment, we're just going to have a few events. I'll call on Dr. Allen to just give a brief on his own. Later, we'll get the Kibaku president to also speak on it. Then we'll have Dr. Allen first, and then we'll call on you and see whether he has any computer for us for this week. You say there's a saying is believing. Thank you.
April 14, 2014, when we lost about 276 girls, until today we are still expecting 75. We are waiting for 75 of them still missing, and out of that we have lost about 35 of the parents of the missing girls. Most of them died as for conditions related to high blood pressure, kidney failure, and the rest. So the school was built several years after, and as most of you have seen on the news, like this year is the 3rd year that sitting for Pro-Wike and NECO exam has resumed in that school. But it will shock most of you here to know that since that school was rebuilt with the collaboration between the Nigerian military and the Borno State government, there is no single computer in that school till today. In this 21st century of ICT, where in some places even children in primary school are developing apps and selling it to Google, making their own money. So I visited the school at some point, and the principal, the 2 vice principal, academic and admin, and the exam officer expressed their desire for the community, the Chibok community, under the umbrella of the Kibaku Area Development Association, which is the pan-organization of the Chibok people home and in diaspora, that we should rally around our people to see, even if it's fairly used system, we should please have, so that the children can have computers in the studio that is already built with furnitures, but no system, no light in the school. The laboratories are empty, the library is empty, the borehole is not pumping water because there is no light. Since 2014, light has not been restored to the community. So those were the needs, and upon return, I sent that message to Aisha, and shockingly, after attempting a lot of organizations, some organization we will follow, will write mail to them asking for support. They will prefer to fly to Maiduguri, where the airport is functional. And it will shock you also to know that there are deep fields in Borno where the UN Humanitarian Air Services ONHAS can fly to. But because of some political reasons too, Chibok has been painted as a red zone. Where my dad and mom stays has been painted as the red zone, where the humanitarian air services cannot operate a helicopter there to ferry the humanitarian actors that are so numerous in Maiduguri. So that resulted in Chibok not benefiting much from the numerous UN bodies and even the other organizations that are operating in the state capital and other parts of the state. So we are happy that this message got attention of His Excellency, and in the first place, His Excellency even wanted to go to Chibok, and I was so excited that I want him to go to Chibok, because when people from outside visit Chibok and see the situation in Chibok, it's better when they are the ones telling the story. Because for us, no matter how we paint the picture, the original picture of the story, it's still being received with disbelief. Those that are part of the Bring Back Our Girls movement will know that very well. The abduction of the Chibok girls even was greeted with a lot of skepticism, even from the government. So the burden of proof of that abduction was laid on our shoulders, the families, the community, and the dedicated members of the advocacy group, the Bring Back Our Girls. And it took us a lot of fights before the government even accepted. At some point, they said, if the girls are missing, where are their parents? We brought the parents. They saw the parents, and you know, some of the girls that escaped, they ended up rubbishing them, because monies were sent to be given to the parents, and not even 1% of the money reached them. And at the end of the day, the government even denied giving them the support they intended. So we kept advocating for a lot of support, not just for the community, the missing girls and their parents, but everywhere. Because as at the last count, Chibok has been attacked from 2014 to today. Chibok has been attacked 107 times. In all the attacks, only 3 attacks that we didn't lose somebody. So we have 33 communities that are now ghost town around Chibok. Majority of these people have collapsed into Chibok main town, and they have been staying there. So you could imagine why we have large number of students in primary school, and the only secondary school we have in that state, which is the government secondary school, Chibok, where the abduction happened. So I was telling His Excellency before we entered here that when the attack happened, the number of students that were writing exam in that school were 530. This earned me a lot of insult when I was on various media stations in Abuja, telling Nigerians that that was the number of students that were writing Wike in that school. Some people were even insulting me that it's not possible to have a local government, just one small village, Chibok, that was unknown before the attack, to have that number of students in school. But I was also saying before we enter here that Chibok is a missionary base. We've received education so early, and a lot of our people love education, and we still have them. Even with the abduction that happened, that school is currently full with thousands of students still pursuing. As low as the standard of education is, they are still eager to be educated. So this is just the basic of what transpired. And unfortunately, when His Excellency said he wanted to see the students and even the school authorities so that they are the direct beneficiaries of this gesture, we made every plans to get them. But as we all know, everything in Nigeria, no matter how clean or pure your actions are, will be misinterpreted. The misinterpretation came that because I was on the ballot in 2023 from PDP, I contested for House of Assembly, Chibok Damboa Goza, House of Representatives, Chibok Damboa Goza Federal Constituency, and I won the election. So if this gesture reached Chibok through my intervention and the community, it will end up causing a lot of problem for those guys on the ground, and they say they are not going to allow those people to come. And since those guys are salary earners on the payroll of government, they chickened out, and the student almost protested, the community youth almost protested, but we got intervention from our sister here, Aisha Yusuf, that no, His Excellency is always anticipating this kind of hostile approach when people misinterpret politics and governance. So he made this arrangement that the community leaders can come and represent the school and receive whatever that is available from him. So we thank you for this privilege and the opportunity. Most of us here are leaders representing the community. I don't know if there will be time for individual introduction, or I can quickly introduce our team. This was one of our earliest elder and the former chairman of the Chibok Area Development Association. He has been very helpful.
Peter Obi and his entourage, especially my sister Aisha Yesufu, a dogged fighter. Our paths crossed in April 2014 when we started to sit out under the tree at the Unity Fountain adjacent to Transcorp Hilton. We became sisters, we ate and drank, and the rain beat us all together. So I most especially recognize her as part of His Excellency Peter Obi's entourage here. Dr. Allen has made my job very easy, so the protocol is going to be very, very short. The cadre leadership here, thank you for your support. The vibrant media that we have, electronic, print, and the social aspect. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dauda Ilia. I don't do politics. I retired after 34 years of meritorious service in 6 different Nigerian banks as a director. I live a private and quiet life, but I am an obedient at heart. This is the first time I'm having a direct contact with this man, but I've had contacts with his closest of allies, including one he mentioned while in conversation on phone, Osiloka Obaze. Yes. It's my personal friend. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to have led the Kibaku people. On Sunday, we had a Zoom meeting where we discussed largely the politics of the Kibaku people. But a major item under AOB was this event. And we dissected and analyzed all the problems, and finally we agreed that it was wise. His Excellency Peter Obi is a precious product in this country. As unfortunate and as pathetic as the Chibok situation is, we would not, on account of that, risk anything happening to him. We cherish him, we appreciate him, and for that reason we said, after all, we even have now a registered Kibaku NGO. It is called Kibaku Welfare and Support Initiative. I saw to the registration of that with the CAC, with a board, an independent board, completely detached from the politics of Kibaku Kada itself, that can handle this kind of support and donations and gifts from well-meaning and benevolent people like His Excellency Peter Obi. So that's the reason why we quickly accepted the proposal that was put forward by our brother, Dr. Allen, that we should arrange and receive this in the hands of the leadership of CADA. Nothing would, I want to assure His Excellency that nothing untoward would happen to whatever you give to the Kibaku people, not under my watch. So I want to specially appreciate and thank him for his benevolence, for his charitable deeds. We follow what he does across the land, and we want to use this opportunity to, on behalf of the entire Chibok people, not just the board and management of CADA, but the entire Chibok people, both at home and in diaspora, appreciate and thank him for his benevolence and for agreeing to even come to Chibok in spite of the difficulties and the risks associated with that kind of trip. So thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you, and we want to assure you also that these equipment would be put to direct use by the intended beneficiaries. Thank you.
Well, let me stand and on all existing protocols. First is to thank our president and doctor and all the team for your time. Like you mentioned, I wish I had the opportunity of being physically visiting the school in Chibok. However, Dr. Allen insisted that it is not very safe for us to travel. I've maintained that when we have a place that is not safe for Nigerians to travel to, then Nigeria is not safe. We must be able to travel everywhere in Nigeria, and that is what all of us should work ideally. Everybody has spoken here has spoken about benevolence. I don't think that is the case. We have children in school. We need to invest in them. Education is not an expense. It's an investment for a better society. And if we believe in a better society, we must invest in them. So for me, while everybody was talking and listening this morning and since yesterday when we were planning this, people don't know how I feel. We live in a country where we, the politicians, spend billions traveling all over the world, partying, renovating houses with billions. We've just finished renovating our conference center with that 9 billion naira. When our children in school don't have lab, they don't have computer, their classrooms are leaking, they don't have water, they don't have library. Which society is this? That alone can buy 1,000 laptops. And if we give it to the school on average of 10 pieces each, you should look at the number of schools that will be able to receive that. What conference are we having? The ones we have had in the past, have we utilized it? So it's time to prioritize what is critical in our development, which number one is education. It's time to prioritize the health of the people. Prioritize pulling people out of poverty. Prioritize their safety. I can't travel there. We've already bought tickets. Told Aisha, we bought tickets to go there. Once he said it, I said, okay, this airline goes there, and I bought the ticket and everything, forwarded it to her, ready to go. And I said, you can't go there. But we're here celebrating our feast when our children don't have anything in school. I thank you for the opportunity. Aisha did tell me, like she said, they are looking for 2 desks, computers. And I said, Aisha, that is a school. They need a minimum of 10, and they should have a laptop that is easier for them to just use it, fold it, and keep it safe somewhere. The laptop will be listening. And Aisha said, okay, if I can bring 2. But I said, Aisha, we'll do 10. Because, and from what doctor has said now, they actually need far more than 10. Because when I was in government and we did it, we used an average of 1 laptop to 10 or 20 students. And the doctor said about 3,000. So they actually need at least 100. But let's start with this. We have 10 laptops, 3 printers. Additionally, I've spoken to doctor. We're going to be making a contribution of 2 million naira to provide solar facility in the computer lab facility. We are going to provide another 2 million naira to see if we can provide some equipment in the science lab, because they have the chemistry and the science lab that doesn't have anything. And we're going to provide another 2 million naira for hand motorized borehole. Like I said, we're not making donations, we're investing in the future of our children. That is critical. The more we invest in them, the more we have a better society. And that is critical. So I thank all of you who are doing all you can to sacrifice for us to do this. Thank you. May God continue to bless all of you. So,
Make one or two comments. Yeah, just as you hand it over to you.
thank you again. We're handing you over, like I said earlier, these 10 laptops and 3 printers, believing that they will go a long way in the education of our children. And we have offered to provide additional support for the laboratory, solar for the computer lab, and the borehole. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Thank you.
And affirm our commitment to the utilization of these computers and printers for the purpose for which they are intended. It is important, I'm repeating and reiterating this because of our well-known propensities in this country. Monies are getting swallowed, vehicles are getting swallowed, but we want to pledge our commitment to His Excellency that these equipments, God protecting us, would reach Chibok safely and be put to use by the students of Government Secondary School Chibok as intended. We thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And may God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Kulo will give us the vote of thanks.
So let me, like I said,
My belief in you, that you are a complete gentleman, you are humble and down to earth. This is the kind of leader we need. And leader that will say categorically that the future of our children is not an expense, it is an investment. You have said it all, sir. Nobody got it so rightly like you. And we are so grateful that God has raised you and has put this kind of spirit in you. That is why earlier on when we were outside, I said, you are a different breed, kind of. And it is obvious. And thank you very much. This will go a long way in educating Chibok children. And educating Chibok children, just like any other child, will mean educating Nigeria. And who can tell if the brightest and the help that the nation need could even come from the unlikely place like Chibok. We look forward to seeing you, God, giving you your heart desire, and God Almighty will bless you richly for this gesture, and we are praying with you that God will really do that for us. Thank you so very much, sir. We are really grateful.